Hello, welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveCan. We're very excited that you're able to join us this afternoon. Just a few housekeeping items before we officially get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the fall schedule at CACRAO.org, that's CACRAO.org. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, CACRAO.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters from UNC Greensboro.
Thank you so much. Everyone, welcome. We are so excited you guys are joining us for the afternoon to learn more about UNC Greensboro. My name is Andre Hill. I am the Associate Director over Transfer Recruitment with UNCG. I have got my wonderful team that is joining me today. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. And we are going to spend around 45 minutes telling you all of the wonders of UNC Greensboro this afternoon. As was said before, do use the Q&A function to ask questions, and we're going to try to field all of the questions at the very end. But we are very hopeful that many of the questions you may have are going to be covered during the presentation. So with that, we're going to start with Melissa Garrison, and then we're going to move to Angie, and then we're going to jump into our presentation.
Hi, my name is Melissa Garrison. I'm a transfer specialist at UNC Greensboro. I love being at UNCG. This is my 20th year, and I help students primarily in the central part of the state, but as well, I'll say we can help anybody who would like to transfer to UNCG.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie Moore. I have been with UNC Greensboro for 17 and a half years. I work primarily with adult transfer and also military affiliated students.
Angie, Melissa, thank you so much. I guess I now also have to say that this is my 19th year of being at UNCG. I also was a student, so I'm an alum of UNCG, so I absolutely drank all the Kool-Aid. If you get that reference, I am fully invested in this place. So overall, this is 24 years of me being here in this Greensboro area, and I enjoy it. And that's part of the reason why I've stayed around as long as I can, as long as I have. So with that said, I am going to now share my screen with you all, and we are going to get ready for our presentation this afternoon. So in thinking about all of the things that UNCG is, we want to start talking a little bit about the numbers first, just to get them out of the way. So for our current enrollment, we are just shy of over 20,000 students who are part of this wonderful place. Our transfer classes last year was over 1,700 new students that joined us as transfers. And transfer students represent a huge part of who UNCG is, both as far as a destination, a place, what the environment is like. So you're going to find that if you are thinking about this as the space that you're going to go into to complete your degree, you're not going to find yourself alone, that there are lots of students who are having the same experience as you. They started their college experience somewhere else. And then, through all the things that they experienced in life, found that UNCG was going to be the place where they plan to finish their degree. So whether they started at a community college or a four-year school, UNCG has been the place that they have found where they want to pull all of their experiences together to complete their degree, to reach their goals, to find their passions, and to move on to that dream, to that goal of what is supposed to happen once their degree is completed and they're out the door, onto their job, onto that career, that graduate school. And that has been something that we value and we take very seriously as a part of the process. You'll also be interested to know that over 50% of our graduating class each year is made up of students who started their degrees somewhere else. So that we really believe in the idea that if once you've discovered that UNCG is the place for you, that we're going to invest in you, invest in your experience, invest in your education to make sure that you're going to be able to get on to that next step and ready for graduation. So we have found that transfers, when they are on our campus and they're invested in our campus and we invest back in them, that they're going to find success. And that is something that we have a lot of pride in. It's something that we're going to invest a lot of our energy in once you decide that you want to apply. So our goal today is, by introducing you to this place, introducing you to all that we are, that we hope that you're going to find your way to UNCG. So because right now we are in restrictions on our campus, we can't do visits here. We've got a short video that's going to allow you to see a bit more of us virtually, and then we're going to get into the presentation. So we're going to take our faces away to get into this presentation. And then again, please use the Q&A function to ask your questions, and we're going to have those ready to review at the very end.
This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of change makers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
All right, so part of the things that we love to talk about once the student has discovered us and we're on their radar and they're thinking about attending is figuring out the why UNCG over any other place that's out there. There are a lot of pieces that are going to be recreated in other places, lots of majors that are offered at lots of different schools, but we feel like we take a very unique approach to the college transfer experience and the student experience overall. One of the things we are talking about right now is the opportunity to advance, to grow, to move a little further on, excuse me, to move a little further along in the world, you know, beyond just your experience here on the campus, thinking about what's going to happen to you when you leave. So the opportunity piece is important to us. UNCG was recognized as the #1 school for social mobility, a place for students to be able to connect with research opportunities, hands-on learning. Those things are important to us to make sure that it's going to be much more than just your face in the classroom. It's really going to be about the experience that you have here and the evolution of you as a student to whatever goal or opportunities you're looking for once your degree is completed. Excellence has been something that we have also had a strong focus on over the last years, and we are trying to call it out more and more, that it's not just a place to do well enough and then move forward, that we really want to challenge and push students to put everything that they can into their experience, and our faculty and our staff are going to return the same. At the undergraduate level, we have many faculty who are teaching, who are at the senior level as far as their field. So they are full professors, associate or assistant professors. These are going to be people who are experts in their field, who are going to be able to tell you all the things that are happening in your field right now, and not things that were happening 10 and 15 years ago, not the things that they studied, but the things that they've done. So with that, that also allows us to have smaller classes with those senior faculty members, meaning that the one-to-one experience that you may be looking for, that immediate feedback that you're looking for, even with some of our virtual and hybrid courses, is going to be there. And that students are also going to be able to get connected into the community, that we are not a school set apart or a school set aside, that we are connected to the city. We are only a few minutes from the downtown area. We have many of our local companies and organizations who are recruiting our UNCG students directly from our campus. And those things are important. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. The last thing to talk about here about why UNCG is about the impact that we make both here in the local community and worldwide. Over 1 million hours of community service are completed here at UNCG yearly. And that is a testament to our students being connected both to this campus and the community around them. That a lot of these students are looking for spaces where they can give back to the community and give back into the university that has given so much to them. Again, mentioning the companies, almost 1,100 different companies recruiting students on our campus. So that means that many of our students are walking away from their degree, not into the unknown, but directly into that first job or that first career, that graduate school that they're looking for. And those employers value and UNCG education, know what they're going to be getting when those students come into their workforce. So they're going to come with communication skills, they're going to come with critical thinking, and they're going to come with a worldwide experience where they can contribute and do so right away. And we know that that is really important for the employers. So we want to make sure that it's going to be important for our students as well.
So as Andre was saying, yes, we have students that log over 1 million hours of customer service. Part of that is going to be part of their hands-on experience that's built into their program. So if they are looking at social work or if they're looking at anything dealing with business, there is that community piece, that hands-on internships. Those are all included in part of that. Additionally, UNCG is just an environment where we care about our community, not just our campus and who we are, but our surrounding community as well. So one of the ways that we like to promote our community service and helping our fellow students and staff, faculty, and just members of the community, we have a program called UNCG Cares. And so a lot of our students do their community service through this UNCG Cares program. But one of the great things is it also provides staff, faculty with the option to participate as well. So as you can see on the slide, there's a couple different things that are part of this program, including workshops, providing networking experiences, just that community outreach. So that's one of the things that I love about our campus is that there's always some sort of push for doing something bigger. I think one of our former taglines was doing something bigger all together, and that is absolutely the truth. We work together as a community to make our community better, and we just do a lot of things outside of who we are as an academic community. So that's one of the things that I appreciate about UNCG.
Explore with a purpose. That is what we would like you to do when you find your way to UNCG. As Andre spoke of earlier, it's not just about what you do in the education that you receive here at UNCG, but it's going beyond to the community and finding a career that you're passionate about later. And we try to prepare you to meet those goals in many different ways. At UNCG, we have a smaller class size. As Andre mentioned, our enrollment's right around 20,000. So we're not the largest in the UNC system, but we're not the smallest. We're a good mid-sized institution that can offer you many different areas of study, but at the same time, you're not going to feel quite so overwhelmed. Our student to faculty ratio is 20-1 with a median class size of 25 students. As a transfer student, you're probably taking some of those first year large lecture classes that would be of a larger size at UNCG at your other institution. So as you transfer and get into your major, those class sizes become smaller. We want to make sure that our students are involved in things that will help them after they leave UNCG. So we do have undergraduate students participating in research, over 700. Our faculty members do focus on undergraduate teaching. We also have a research magazine that gets published a couple times a year, which is wonderful to browse to see what types of research our students are undertaking. We do have that strong sense of service. Service is UNCG's motto. So as both Angie and Andre have alluded to, we've got over 500,000 student service hours. We do promote study abroad. We have over 500 undergraduates studying abroad. And as a transfer student, you are welcome to apply for our honors program. We do disciplinary honors, and we have quite a few students involved in our honors program as well. You'll see also our top 10 undergraduate majors. If you don't see your major there, doesn't mean it's not top 10. These are ranked according to size of enrollment, so you can review those types of majors. But as we'll explain later, we've got quite a few different offerings and some majors of discovery you might want to take a look at as well.
So as Melissa just said, yes, those were some of our top 10 or some of our bigger programs. We do have over 125 degree programs. We have 6 schools and colleges that are at the undergraduate level. So depending on what you end up majoring in, you'll fall under the umbrella of one of these schools and colleges. We have our Bryan School of Business and Economics. So if you're interested in marketing, accounting, anything of that nature, it's going to fall under the Bryan School. We, of course, have our College of Visual Performing Arts, CVPA, as we like to call it. So if you are more like me and on the artistic side, I was a music major, then you will go under the College of Visual and Performing Arts. We also have School of Health and Human Sciences. So if you are interested in doing that, you know, working in the health related field, helping people, those majors typically fall under HHS. We also have our College of College of Arts and Sciences on the next page. That is actually our largest school. And then we have our School of Nursing and School of Education. We also have pre-professional programs. So if you are interested in, let's say, doing pre-med, typically those students will major in biology, chemistry, or biochemistry. If you talk to Robin Maxwell, usually she'll recommend studying anything. If your strong suit is outside those 3 majors, she'll say, you know, major in business if you want. It's always good to have a wider choice. But you would get an advisor for your main bachelor's program, and then you would get an advisor for your pre-professional program. And the way that works is that you are just completing your goals for your bachelor's degree while you're doing the supplemental requirements for your pre-professional program. So for pre-med, you would be working with whoever your primary advisor is to fulfill your bachelor's degree, and working with Robin Maxwell to look at those applications for med school, fulfilling some of those prerequisites, all of that good stuff. Robin is a great resource for that. But that's how it works with all of our degree programs and pre-professional programs.
Greensboro loves UNCG. Hopefully you could tell somewhat from the movie and the video that UNCG is like one large city block right smack in downtown Greensboro, which is the 3rd largest city in North Carolina. We're located centrally in the state, which is wonderful, halfway between the mountains and the beach. Also up the I-85 corridor, so you can hit Washington, D.C., Atlanta. It's just a very wonderful central location. And Greensboro is actually pretty green, so you'll find lots of trails and greenways to explore. And in better times, there's a lot of things going on as far as sports, concerts. Our basketball games are held in the UNCG, the Greensboro Coliseum downtown. There are also museums, art galleries, festivals. We are home to the International Civil Rights Museum, which is definitely worth a visit. And we also have strong relationships with companies downtown, such as Wrangler, Jeans, Fresh Market, and Volvo Trucks. But one of the things I think makes UNCG or Greensboro in general special is it's just a hub for students in general. We are surrounded by North Carolina A&T State University, Bennett College, Guilford College, Greensboro College, Guilford Tech. So this is just a great place for lots of students to gather, and there's lots of different opportunities to enjoy the city and enjoy Greensboro.
Melissa, thank you for that. I think it's something like 110,000 college students in the Piedmont Triad area. So there are definitely a lot of those students that once they arrive in the area, sort of like I did, came out of the northeast part of North Carolina and arrived in Greensboro and really found it to be a great fit, a great place to work, a great place to start a family. And I've been here ever since. But moving on, we talk about the experience of being here as a part of the city, but knowing that we also have an idea that from the day that you arrive, that we're trying to help you leave in the best possible way. We know that you have graduation on your mind and that you are focused on what am I going to be able to do next. And we want to have that same focus as well. So we want to connect you with our career and professional development office. The old career services office. They've changed their name, they've changed their focus. So it used to be that you would go and see them, right before graduation, polish up their resume, get a cover letter together, do a few interview skills, and then on your way you went, trying to figure out where you were going to start your first job or first career. They've really turned that model around, and that they want to connect with students from the time that they arrive. So a first-year student coming out of high school, a transfer student in their first semester, they want to make sure they partner with you to start talking about and thinking about what is it that you're hoping to gain from this experience, and how can we help you build that experience to match. So along with the courses that you're going to be taking, can we start talking about internships, externships, observation opportunities? We start working on those interview skills and resume skills. Those things are important, but it's not just a touch base before you leave. It's how can we give you the strongest resume? How can we capture all the activities that you're involved with? So as a new graduate, you won't have that career experience right away, but we can try to translate many of the things you would have done inside the classroom and within student organizations to then show what type of value you can bring to that job or to that career. So they have now started to capture an activities resume along with your work resume and your transcript to talk about leadership, to talk about, along with leadership, being able to show all of the activities, all the ways that you have learned and grown as a part of your college experience, and then to get you to be able to say that, hey, this is somebody who can contribute and do so at a high level, even though they may not have a long job experience behind them. You can see here that there are 5+ large career fairs, some that are hosted for the entire campus, some that are hosted by individual departments. You can see the number of companies that are recruiting our students yearly, and almost 120,000 job postings for our students. So we know that the experience that comes after your graduation is important to you. So it needs to be important to us, and we want to invest as much as we can to prepare you for that.
So in looking at the cost, what does all of this cost? As far as where we lie on the spectrum with regards to tuition and fees, you can see this laid out for you on the screen. So if you're local and you don't have to live on campus, you don't have to have a meal plan, you're just looking at straight tuition and fees, that's roughly going to be about, for in-state students, about $7,400. And of course, there are opportunities for other financial assistance. So other than filling out the FAFSA, in which you have opportunities to get scholarships and that sort of thing, we also have an adult scholarship available, which the application process is currently open. It was open October 1st, and it will run until March 1st. So if you are looking at attending UNC Greensboro starting the fall semester, that's fall 2021, the application process is open now. The process entails filling out a simple brief form online, and of course sending me an essay that there are some prompts on the website. So to access that information, if you go to UNCG's admissions homepage, there is going to be a bar across the top of the page. It'll say home, discover UNCG, academics, visit, apply. You're going to find the scholarship information under costs and aid. And of course, there's scholarship opportunities listed there as well. So again, when you click on that scholarship page, it will take you through, you'll scroll down to where it says adult scholarship application. There's a form, you click on it, it will give you the prompts on how to write your essay. There are some other scholarship opportunities as well. There's one through the community colleges, or one for community college students. That is called the Jack, I want to make sure I get it correct. It is the Jack Cook Kent Cook scholarships, to take a look at that as well. Of course, if after this you have questions or you want links or information about that particular scholarship, you can send me an email. My contact information will be at the end. But don't forget to check out those scholarship opportunities.
Transfer criteria. So what are we going to be looking for when you apply? A traditional transfer student is going to have at least 24 transferable credit hours. That's with C grades or higher. And we'll be looking at primarily your college GPA. Once you have established 24 credit hours, we're not going to go back to high school and look at those type of criteria. Our best judge of how well you'll do at UNCG is how well you've done in your college coursework. Our average GPA for our admitted transfers is about a 3.07. We always say aim for at least a 2.3 or higher, but keep in mind that UNCG admits to the university and not particularly any major or area of study. So some of our more competitive programs like the School of Nursing, School of Education are going to require a much higher GPA, but we're not looking at that when you initially apply because we're admitting you to the general university and not to any area of study. If you're 21 years of age or older, there's a supplemental process available. We can look beyond the transcripts to some of your life experience, your work, etc. Some people went straight to college after high school and it wasn't the best experience. We nicely call that a false start. And that's not something that should be held against you necessarily for many, many years. So we can review your application a little bit differently and take some other things into account beyond the transcripts if you're 21 years of age or older. But please keep in mind, we will focus on your recent work. So if you're currently enrolled, make sure you do as best as you can because we will be looking at that recent work very carefully. As far as those 24 hours are concerned, we're not looking for any specific courses that are required for admission. However, if you would like to connect with us, Angie, Andre, and I will work with you from your first semester on to help you plan to maximize your credits. You can look at our baccalaureate degree plans on our website. The link is right there, or you can check in with any of us. And if you have a particular major in mind, we can help you maximize your credits even before you transfer.
Thanks, Melissa. So the application process for us is very straightforward. There are a few things that we need to get everything moving, to get that decision made for you. The online application, which you can find here at the link at the bottom of the site, the admissions.uncg.edu/apply. You can throw into your search bar UNCG online application or UNCG application will get you to the exact same spot. There is a $65 application fee that is required. And then we need any and all of your college transcripts. So 2-year, 4-year, public, private, in-state, out-of-state. If you went there and took college courses, we need a transcript. For anybody who may have taken college courses during your high school, you were doing dual enrollment, early college or middle college, we need those transcripts as well. The one special caveat for our dual enrollment students who are taking college courses during high school is that we have the flexibility to use or not use those credits if it helps you or if it hurts you. So if your average GPA would be higher excluding that high school work, we have the ability to do so because we know that not everyone's high school experience with college courses is going to be reflective of their true ability to be successful in the long term. On the flip side, if those grades help you and make the application process a little bit easier and can help make you admissible, we will use it to help you. So it's really kind of the best of all situations. So don't be afraid to send it in. And as Melissa had already mentioned, if you're concerned that you don't meet the admission standards right off the bat, you just know my GPA isn't there, and you know you're an older student, you always have that ability to try to connect with one of us ahead of time. So don't worry about paying the application fee right away. Don't worry about applying. Just make the connection with us to say, hey, can you go over my record with me? Can we talk about my experience? And we will help set a plan and a pathway for you that can lead towards admission. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. For anybody who may have had any sort of military service, we want to have your military credits as well to be evaluated. So that would include your Joint Services Transcript or your JST. It's also known as an ACE transcript. It basically is going to be a collection of all of the work that you did and studied during your experience with whichever branch that you chose. So some of that may go back to your basic training, your job training, and then in some cases, if you also had college courses through usually through the Community College of the Air Force, that will be then a separate transcript that can be sent in. So just be sure to reach out to us in a timely fashion, and we will help clear up what documents we'll need to get you through the application process. And then just a quick reminder that 24 transferable credit hours will then determine that we're going to review you as a traditional transfer student, or maybe we need to figure out a different way to work with you.
Deadlines. Do please keep deadlines in mind. Applying earlier is always helpful because that gives us time to connect with you in case we need to gather any further information. But we admit transfer students fall, spring, and summer. So our spring deadline is coming up next. It is December the 1st. We have a fall deadline. Our priority is March 1st, but we will accept applications through July 15th. But try to meet that March 1 deadline if you are able, because like I said, it helps us prepare you to make all the next steps that are necessary for enrollment, advising, registration, orientation. So it's always better, as long as you have one semester of credit under your belt, it's always better to apply early. We also do offer 2 sessions of summer school. So we have 2 deadlines there, May 1 for summer 1 or June 1 for summer 2. You can be admitted to either session and either take one or both or none, but just realize you can join us fall, spring, or summer. We have the freshman deadlines up here as well. If you are currently a dually enrolled high school student, you will apply as a first-year student. So those are our deadlines there. December 1 for spring, summer, May 1, June 1, and then 3 fall notification dates, December 1, March 1, and July.
All right, we aren't going to spend a lot of time here talking about the departmental admission, but we did want to call out just the idea that there are some departments that will require you to apply separately. Theater, music, arts, and interior architecture all kind of follow a similar model where they're going to require either an audition or some review of some of your previous work. The social work program has a GPA requirement and some courses that are listed there. All 3 of these are UNCG courses. So as soon as students can transfer, you can start working on these courses, and then you've got a December 7 deadline. So this is certainly an area where you want to connect with us early so that we can help you plan your schedule of getting these 3 courses completed and being able to meet their deadline of the year that you expect to go into your program. Our School of Education has a GPA requirement and 3 courses. Out of these 3, the math can be completed at your community college. The other 2 courses will have to be completed at UNCG, and there's a July 1 deadline here as well. So again, connecting with us early enough will allow us time to help you plan these courses out so that you can meet this deadline. The public health program is an online degree and it is an online degree completion program. So it requires you to have your Associate of Arts or your Associate of Science degree before you come in. And that's going to be important because if you don't have that, you will not be able to participate in this specific online degree program. All of the courses that are listed here are eligible to be completed at the community college. These are all of the community college course names and numbers to make it a little bit easier for you. And you've got an April 1 deadline here as well. The last program here mentioned is the Human Development and Family Studies degree program. This one requires an Associate of Applied Science and Early Childhood Education. A GPA is recommended of at least a 2.5, but they will continue to work with all students who have their degrees completed. I'm going to take a quick break here and stop my screen share. And I'm going to switch over into a different presentation that's going to cover the last couple of items properly that we are going to be talking about. So just bear with me for one moment, please, while I get it ready to go. In the meantime, I want to remind you that we are going to be reviewing questions in the Q&A. Our plan is to answer these questions for you guys directly in a little bit. So just be sure that if there's anything that you want to know, go ahead and put those questions in the Q&A so that we will have the opportunity to address those for you. You will also be receiving our contact information. So if there are specific things that you want to talk about, there will be an opportunity for you to communicate with us one-to-one. So that way you don't have to worry about asking that question here in the chat for everyone. All right, just about got the session back that I wanted to have, and we will come back and wrap up. We've got about 10 minutes to go, but I think that we have plenty of time to cover all the additional items that we need. All right, sorry for the radio silence. I'm just going to make sure that we get back right where we left off and then be able to move on to the final 2 slides and then get to the Q&A. Again, my apologies, one more moment and we will be ready to go. Here we are. Angie, you can take it from here.
All right, so as you can see on this slide, we have a program called Transfer Information Program. Our next one is coming up on Tuesday, November 10th at 3 p.m. It is a virtual program. So this program is for students who are interested in transferring and maybe have a couple questions they need answered, or if they just want to kind of connect with us as an office. It's a perfect opportunity. We have representatives from financial aid, other admissions folks, in addition to ourselves here. There's folks from our registrar's office to answer questions about transfer credit. And we also have a faculty member who speaks about his experience and how he came to UNCG, both as a student and as a faculty member. Another thing to note about the transfer program is if you attend this program, you will qualify for an application fee waiver. This means you can go ahead and submit your application. Do not submit your fee if you are intending on attending this program. Just indicate that you're paying the fee by check or money order, attend the program, and then we will apply the waiver. An important piece is this event in November is going to be hosted in a little bit different manner. We typically have you register and then that's how you get your fee waiver, but this event is going to be a live stream. So there will be a form made available during the live stream that you will fill out with some information. If you fill out the form, we will, of course, apply the waiver to your account. And again, it's only going to be available during the live stream. So look at the dates there. So depending on when you're looking at actually transferring, you may want to plan to attend a later program. So if you're interested in the fall, you can attend November, February, March, April, or May. If you're looking at spring, obviously you'll want to focus on November. But that is, like I said, it's a virtual program this go around, and it is an opportunity to get some questions answered, to be more connected to us, get some questions answered about your credit and what it looks like once it comes to UNCG. But yeah, so that's a good opportunity. How you will access the event, on the admissions homepage, there's a bar across the top. One of the options says visit, and under visit, you'll have events. And then the event will be listed under that menu. And again, it is our transfer information program. When you go to that website at the appointed date and time, the live stream will be there. And of course, my contact information will be at the end of this presentation. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me.
Angie, thank you so much. Also, if you create your SpartanLink account, that is where you can get reminders about the event. So either sail into the site that Angie gave you, or be sure that your SpartanLink account is up to date and you will get more information. Okay, we are now at the very end, and we want to give you those opportunities to be able to connect with us. So we're going to leave this up as long as we can. Angie is going to help us to cover the Q&A over this last couple of minutes. And you've got our phone number, you've got our text line, you have the email address. And then as far as connecting with either Melissa, Angie, or myself, you have this link here at the very bottom on the UNCG admission site under Find Your Counselor. So when you sail in there and select the Find Your Counselor page, you will then have the opportunity to collect our direct contact information if you want to email one of us specifically or text us specifically. This is our general text line that's here on the screen. You will also have the opportunity to sign up for a one-on-one visit with us as well. Those appointments are on different days of the week. So depending on when you're available, one of us should also be available. All right, with that said, let's get to our first question. Angie, you ready?
I am. So we have someone asking about, are we offering remote learning for transfer students? They asked about a major in particular, but so for psychology, but I would imagine we want to touch on this for all majors across the board.
I can. So right now, UNCG is offering courses in person, and we are doing hybrid and online courses. Most of the courses are operating under the hybrid model where you're in the classroom a couple of days a week. And then on the other days when you're not in class, you are interacting through a virtual module so that we are allowed, that will allow us to more, to socially distance those courses better in a stronger way, but still keep students engaged with some of that face-to-face contact, which we know is important. There are many online courses that are being offered. So for students who want or need their courses to be online currently, this is probably the most individual courses ever that we've offered online, and we are going to continue in that model. And then we also have 9 online programs that are completely online so that you could complete your degree completely virtually and never have to come to campus. And there are those are all listed either on the admissions application, the admissions website, or the online.uncg.edu site. So if that is of interest to you, you can certainly make that happen.
Awesome. So we have someone asking about housing for adults. I will just basically say this: they want to know about on campus for adult students, but also off campus options. Are there student housing apartments, and do they offer any discounts for students or have less commitment in terms of a lease? If you want, I can address this one.
Please.
So UNCG does have transfer student housing. There are some of the dorms, well, I call them dorms, but they are apartment style for some transfer students. We do have some that offer pets, but if your situation doesn't allow for you to fit within the confines of what the traditional student housing is, there are several apartment complexes that border campus, that walking distance, but also in the surrounding area. There are apartments that offer short-term lease and also long-term lease. There are some apartment complexes that work very similar to the student housing in that they will find you a roommate, or if you want to live completely on your own, those options are available as well. The university doesn't really advocate for any particular housing complex, but there are several options available. So that is very easy to find in the surrounding area. We also have a question about how does UNCG invest in students' education outside the classroom?
So we talked a bit about that in the presentation where students will have research opportunities that will be outside of the classroom. We have an entire office that's dedicated to service learning. So the idea that of being able to learn through service in the local community outside of the classroom is going to be big. The internship process is also going to be built into many of the majors. So School of Education, School of Nursing, social work are great examples where students won't graduate from the university without having some sort of real world experience out into the classroom. Once we are able to return to study abroad, current program is on pause. That's another opportunity where students can go and learn and apply what they have learned outside of that campus and even outside of our local community. The short example I can give is that the public health program often will do study abroad in different countries so that students can see how the concepts of public health and teaching people how to be healthy, how to live a healthy lifestyle, how do you administer medication in large groups, not so much as a caregiver, but how can we support the public health standards in a local area, how that can really change a community. So there are great opportunities across most of our majors, if not all of them, I would really say, that you can really get out into the world and apply what you've learned and then be able to bring some of that experience back with you as well. Let's see. What else do we have?
I believe that is most of it. We did have someone asking about transit in the city of Greensboro. I did answer the question, but I don't know if that goes out to everyone. But there is transit available. We've got our Spartan chariots. We have our heat bus. There's of course GTA. So there's a lot of options for transit for those that don't have cars available in Greensboro.
Thank you. All right, I think we have run our time, so we're going to turn it back over to our facilitator.
Thank you, UNC Greensboro, for sharing so much vital information for our transfer students, and thank you, transfer students, for being able to join us this afternoon. Again, when this session closes, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd really appreciate your feedback that you can provide us. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at CACRAO.org. Again, that's CACRAO.org. Again, thank you all for joining us and have a wonderful afternoon.